Hello, my friends, and welcome to the 11th episode of the Best Average Podcast. This time, I fucked up and did not get to record my own face on the video stream for this episode of the Best Average Podcast. So I just thought, why not make this episode a reaction video to the 11th episode of the Best Average Podcast starting now? Oh shit, is that who I think it is? Hello?
Yo,
Yo, what's up, my brother?
what the fuck is up, dude?
Dude, how are you? Welcome to the Best Average Podcast.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm glad to be here. How's my audio sounding, by the way?
You're sounding beautiful and you look beautiful, man. Did you get your
Yeah.
Miche?
Oh, fuck yeah, of course I got it, bro. I had to go to
Yeah.
two stores for this motherfucker.
What?
Two stores, bro. This is my
What the
favorite Michi.
fuck?
The other ones are trash. You gotta get the
Hey,
Soul Chilada. It's the best one for sure.
what? What about the Bud Light, my boy?
Nah, I don't fuck with it, dude. I told you. Only
Oh, okay.
Soul.
Okay.
So
Well, cheers to you,
you
man.
got yours cracked, bro.
Crack that shit. Oh, yeah, man. I get the party started early, my
Cheers.
boy.
I forgot to shake it, dude.
Are you supposed to? Here, cheers me. Come on, bam.
No, I have no idea. Hey, cheers, my man.
Okay, so tell us who you are. I know who you are, obviously, Thomas Moran. But who the fuck are you, bro? We can cuss on this podcast, by the way. Is
Oh,
that
okay.
okay?
It's different than TBD. I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm Thomas. I mean, I guess I have a radio show called TBD, and I do like a booking thing called TBD Presents, and I just like host shows here in the 805 area of Ventura County. Yeah, and that's kind of what I do. Just help out if I can. Try to put the artist first always.
What do you
That's it.
mean? I guess I have a radio show. You have a radio show.
I know I do, but it's also weird like you asking me like, so who are you? Like I'm some kind of celebrity. Like I almost feel like that's like my job to like ask the bands that. Like who are you guys?
Why?
Because dude, I never see myself as like an entity worth noting. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
insane.
I just it's like weird. Like when I talk to like Jess about this too, because like I've had a few people like come up to me at shows like, oh my God, like you're TBD.
Wait,
And I'm
who's
just
Jess? Who's
like,
Jess? Who's Jess? I know who Jess is,
Jess
but
is my girlfriend, by the way.
okay, yeah.
And so like when I talk to her, dude, like I'll just be like, dude, like it's so weird that like, and people other like artists or just people will come up to me and be like, dude, I think what you're doing for like the music scene and stuff is like so cool and so appreciated. And it's just interesting because it's like I'm just doing this because like it's a hobby, like I like doing it. Like helping out,
Yeah,
but I don't necessarily like want or ask for the recognition for it, you know? So it's like
yeah.
weird, like it's weird to me because I don't really see myself as like something
Yeah, you're like
important. Like,
humble, even though you're like the king of booking shows in the area and like have one of the thickest radio shows in the entire 805 network. You're like kind of like, yeah, I just kind of do a radio show, I guess. It's kind of like just a
no,
thing.
literally, that's like how I see it, dude. It's like
Yeah.
I see it as if like I was still doing this like 3 years ago. I feel like it hasn't changed at all, you know?
Is that how long ago you started?
Honestly, I started at KCSB like 5 years ago, dude, in like 2017.
Wow.
And I guess like the current formation of TBD has always been like a dream of mine since I started on KCSB to like get to that point. Um, and now it's there, and like it kind of just feels like I've still just been doing my thing, you know?
Wait, so 5 years ago, wait, so did you go to, you started at UCSB in 2017 or what?
Yeah, so I went to UCSB in 2017 and grew up in Simi.
That was like
And before,
that was like a freshman year for you in 2017?
no, that was like a transfer because I went to
Oh,
community
okay.
college. Yeah, so like I
Yeah.
transferred as what is it like a junior and ended up staying there for 3 years in Ivy.
Nice.
And that was also kind of like my intro to like DIY was like living in Santa Barbara and stuff.
What
And I guess
DIY was in San? Well, I guess 2017. So, I mean, everybody knows how old as fuck I am. So, People who know me know that I've like been in this scene for a little while. So I'm trying to remember what 2017 was like, and it's hard for me to because like all the years have kind of blended together. But I think 2017 did have a little bit of a scene actually. So that would have yeah, because we still had like fucking Biko and like Newman and like there was
Yeah,
still
so there
like
was like still some stuff going down. Like when I joined, um, there were some people doing stuff at Bico when I first got there. I don't remember much stuff at Newman because Kristen didn't live at Newman my first year. She was
yeah.
gone for a while and then she like moved back. But
Bro,
yeah,
you're
there were
dropping
some
these
people doing
names. You
stuff
have to
at
know who they are. Kristen was also like another just like lover of music, right? And she would put together shows at the Newman
yeah,
house.
shout
So
out my homie Kristen.
shout
She's a big
out.
inspiration of me. I've been meaning to
Really?
chill with her for a while.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, for sure. I like was going to some of Kristen's shows before I even knew who she was, like personally.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
then Kristen joined KCSB again, when she came back, because she was a part of KCSB before. Um, and then she came back, and then she joined KCSB and got like hired and stuff, and like we were just like chatting, and we were just boys. You know what I'm saying? Me and
Yeah.
Kristen were fucking homies.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, it was just it from there. She'd like throw shows, dude. I remember she had a couple of Biko that I thought were sick as hell. Um, yeah, and then like later on, like, late 2017, like in the summer. Wait, no, so 27, like 2018 in like the summer and stuff. I was so I would say 2017, I was in like this weird relationship where I didn't really like do anything because like I was always just hanging out with like her and stuff. And then it was
Yeah, yeah.
2018.
You're like
I,
Will Smithed or whatever.
yeah, literally. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, dude.
Yeah.
And so I got involved in the scene or whatever and started like going to all the shows at like Zero through to at Bico, like a good job at like booking there. And so that like really introduced me more into like the DIY culture and like, introduced me into going to shows not necessarily for who was playing, but just for the fucking community.
Oh, really?
Like I didn't give a shit who was like playing. I was just going to the gigs because there was gigs and I wanted to support.
So you didn't even like so
Yeah.
when you moved to I guess when you transferred to UCFB, did you come in with the intention of like getting involved in music and like getting involved in radio and like, any of that shit? Or did you like just
Oh, so I guess like before I got to UCSB, okay, so KCSB was one of the reasons that I chose UCSB, to be
Oh
honest.
wow.
Um, yeah, I thought that what KCSB was doing was so sick, it like highly influenced like, the choices that I made in terms of going to schools
Yeah.
or compare like for the ones that I got accepted into.
Yeah.
And I've gone to a couple other DIY shows and like see me in the surrounding areas. There's this dude Nick, he's in this band called In Time. He was throwing shows at like the $5 bookstore in Simi, so those are probably the first DIY shows that I went to. And then there's this other dude Cameron who also plays drums in Time, who was like throwing shows at like Carla's Bakery in Moore Park, and he had like bands like Diners, um, Dingbat Super Minx, like clothes, just like all these like other like DIY bands that were coming through, and I was like, wow, this is sick. I'm going to a show in a bakery. Before that, I was only really going to shows at like established venues. You
Oh
know,
wow. Okay.
yeah, I was only going to shows at like established venues, and then and I would go to like the Smell, I guess, and like a couple
Yeah.
like big warehouse shows in like LA,
Yeah.
but nothing where it's like there's 15 people in attendance, and I was like, this is the sickest thing ever. But anyways,
Yeah.
at one of those shows, I met Josh Redman there
Oh,
because
okay.
he was playing his project at one of the bakery shows. And like
Yeah.
I remember I had already slightly looked into KCSB and I was like, "Oh, if I went to Santa Barbara, it'd be sick to get involved there." And then, I recognized Josh from like the website or something like KCSB website, something like that. I recognized him and I was just chatting to him afterwards about his set.
Yeah,
And
well,
so,
let's establish who Josh Redman is real quick, just because those are big names for us because we know this whole area since we're gang out here. But Josh Redman was the general manager at KCSB from like
a
I
long
don't
time ago.
a long yeah, and for a long time, right?
I don't think for a long time. I don't know. I know he like worked at KCSB for a long time.
Yeah.
You can only work at KCSB if you're a student.
Oh,
So when
really?
he
I
was
didn't
at
know that.
yeah, when he was a student, I'm sure he was working there.
Okay, okay, got it.
I don't know that whole history, but
Yeah.
I know he did kind of like just the DIY radio thing for a long time,
He did
you
the
know?
DIY radio thing. He had a band. It was called Watercolor Paintings. He had his own thing, which right? Or I think he had his own thing. I don't think it
Yeah,
was
he,
only watercolor paintings, but
he was doing like Cave Babies, which is
yeah,
like a
that's
solo
the
ukulele
one.
stuff. Yeah, Cave
Yeah.
Babies was cool. And that's actually what I saw him perform at the bakery.
Wow.
Yeah, Josh was kind of just like a DIY legend. He was like hosting a ton of shows in the area, like Bico,
I remember.
helping with Fun Zone, doing stuff at the food co-op. He has a website called like 5432fun like
That
dot
was the
org, which
show,
is just
yeah.
like it's a cool archive to check out like what he was doing. Like he had like Girl Pool when Girl Pool were nobodies. A bunch of like twee bands, like some folk
It's
punk
so
bands from
twee.
when I was big.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like pretty interesting. But anyways, fast forward to when I saw him at that show.
At the bakery.
Was just at the bakery. I was talking to him and I was like, "Yeah, dude, I was like considering going to UCSB to get involved." Or I think I'd already committed to UCSB at that point.
Okay, okay.
And I was like, "Yeah, like I want to get involved in like the radio station." And I had hosted one show at my community college.
Oh, really?
Um,
Okay.
yeah, so that's another thing too. I hosted one show at the community college, booked a bunch of local bands, and then just like some Burger Records like canceled bands now. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying, from
shit.
the whole
Yeah.
Burger Records thing. Like I
Yeah.
hosted the Buttertones actually.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah,
A
and
different
so
time,
anyways,
different era.
different era, dude. And so I really wanted to keep doing that,
Yeah.
like keep in some way. And I saw like KCSB was throwing shows, and I was like, yeah, I want to get involved in KCSB, help them throw shows. And he was like, no, you're gonna want a radio show. And I was like, I don't know
Okay.
if I want that though. And he's like,
Josh told you
nah,
that.
yeah, he's like, no, trust me, like you want a radio show.
Oh,
And
that's
I
so
was like,
cool.
yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, well maybe I'll check it out when I go there. And he's like, yeah, for sure, like you're gonna want one. It's like it's gonna change your life and stuff. And he's
Was
like
he
telling me
right?
all this back in the bakery. Yeah, dude, and it's crazy because like you know, and also at that show he told me like, yeah, this is also gonna be my last year of programming. I'm leaving after this. I'm moving out of Santa Barbara, and I was just
2017?
like, yeah, in 2017 before this was like the summer before I went to school,
Gosh.
and he was just like, yeah, dude, I'm quitting, and I was just like, damn, that's crazy.
So this was
So
5 years ago for me, and I guess both of us.
yeah,
So I would have been like 28 at that time. So yeah, okay, cool. I'm just trying to
yeah, and
put timelines together in my
yeah.
head.
Yeah, exactly. So this is like 2017, like the summer, like 5 years ago. And then, I went to KCSB and like got involved, ended up having a show of my own. And then it was all kind of like history from there. Like I'm still doing it.
Was your show 5 years ago called TBD?
Nah, dude. It was also like I had various concepts over the years. TBD was kind of not supposed to be a thing that lasted a long time.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, which is like interesting to think about too, how KCSB or TBD was just like a dumb thing that I wanted to fuck around with.
Yeah.
So my first show, what was it even called, dude? It was called like The Juice or something like that, and I was
Nice.
really awkward on air. Like I'm probably still awkward on like my first show,
Yeah.
and that was K Juice, so it was like
Oh, that's the AM radio station at
yeah, the
KFSB.
fake one,
The
yeah,
fake
and then
one.
it's not actually on AM.
Oh,
It's
you
just
know what? That
a lot.
explains so much because I actually, when I went to UCSB, I actually was gonna try to do it. I didn't laugh, but I was trying to find K Juice so I could listen to it, and so it's not real.
No, it's like a running thing.
Oh,
I
I feel
remember
like
when
that's
I
like
was
a
working at.
conspiracy. Holy shit!
It's really weird, yeah. That it hasn't been on air in like 20 years or something, 15
Wow.
years. And so I remember it was like a thing when people started to find out, like on our XCOM, we were kind of just like, why are we still telling this lie? Like, I
What's
know why
XCOM?
they do it. XCOM is the executive committee. So like when you work there, there's like 12 people that are like, have different positions that manage different departments at the station.
Hmm.
And yeah, dude, we found out it was fake and we're like, why are we telling this lie, dude? Like I feel like we shouldn't be lying to these kids,
Why?
you know?
Why are you? Why were they? Or are they? Whichever one is the just to
As
like
like a
get them
scare
motivated.
tactic. Yeah, like a scare tactic to keep people motivated. Like, oh, you're on actual air. Like, try not to fuck up. Like that kind of stuff.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
That
I mean, it worked, dude. Like, it worked for me. I thought I was on air, dude. And so I was like nervous and stuff. Like, oh my God. Like, I remember I couldn't get the CDs playing. Like, I didn't know how to work the channels my first show, and I'm just sitting there stressed, dude, stressed.
Damn. And so,
Yeah, and I think maybe
yeah.
like during my year, they, you know, I think when one of the years I was on XCOM, I think when Jess was running K Juice, she told the kids that it was fake.
That's
Um,
how they respond.
well, she told them it was fake from the very beginning, that it was a training program, more so than like, we're putting you on the shitty station to like, you know, earn your
Up you
way at
and your wings.
KCSB.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, well, we're going to train you here first, and then we're going to put you on FM type deal, you know?
Was there ever a cages?
I think there was at one point for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
So something
It's
happened.
interesting, huh?
Yeah, the super is because I do recall like trying to find it, and I just thought, all right, well, maybe because it's AM, my signal is just like, or the signal is just so shitty since it's like college
Yeah.
radio that you can't even pick it up at the campus.
I
so,
know. Yeah. Yeah.
so
It hasn't
wow.
been a thing. They took it off air. I think they took it off air in like maybe the 90s or the 2000s or something.
Okay.
I know
Got it.
there's like this woman, Elizabeth Robinson, who has been there for like fucking like 30 years or something. She knows the story because like she was like, an advisor and stuff. So,
I thought you can only work there if you're a student.
well, there's like three staff positions that you don't have to be a student for, but they're like full time, like employed by the school type deal.
Oh yeah. Okay. For
There's
sure.
actually four. There's four. So like there's the news advisor, and she's kind of like the advisor for the news department. And then there's Ted's position. He's like, advisor or something, which is probably a chill ass job. And then there's Jen's job where she manages like, finances and more administrative stuff. And
Yeah.
then there's also the chief engineer, and he manages all of like the technical stuff.
Yeah. I was watching this video on YouTube about, I think it's actually a documentary about touring, and the one of the bands was talking about how, in order to set up a tour, and maybe this was more back in the day, they would have to like just have list of promoters that they would build up like networks. And what happens if you try to set up a tour is over the years, like all promoters kind of get burnt out and decide to just leave the scene. And so it's just like kind of a need to just refresh and
Mhm.
keep finding like the new people in the scene who are like setting up stuff. So I was curious what you think about that because you've now been setting up shows for how long? Like a few years or a few months or a year or
Yeah, so, I guess back to like what we were talking about like before when we started talking about K Juice, I guess like,
yeah,
TBD kind of eventually evolved into like booking bands on my radio show. It was
yeah.
supposed to be like not a permanent thing. It was supposed to be a summer quarter show just to fill time. And then I think I had the opportunity to host one band.
How long
And then
ago
I
was
just
this?
kept making, this was like 2019.
And
Yeah.
you called it TBD because you were like, it's just
I
going to be
called
temporary anyway, kind of thing?
Yeah, it's gonna be temporary. And then I was also doing this thing where I was having people call in and choose a name for the show every week. Um,
Interesting.
so people were calling in, and I'll be like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna name it because like, I'll be playing stuff like just weird stuff every week because it was kind of just a filler show. I was playing whatever I could find.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and then people would call in and give it a name for the show. But anyways, that's when I started booking artists and getting more involved in like DIY.
Okay.
Um, And then from there, I moved into a co-op I lived in Manly and then eventually lived in Merton. And then,
Yeah.
as I was hosting bands, I started getting like, they started hitting me up, being like, oh, do you think you can give us a show in Santa Barbara? You know, you hosted us on the radio, give us
Band
a
started
show.
hitting you up.
So
The word started getting
yeah,
around.
bands started
Yeah.
hitting me up. Yeah, yeah. So like, eventually started like 2019. I think Zero was getting kind of burnt at Bico. So then I kind of started picking it up and throwing shows like 2019 into early 2020, and then COVID hit and I stopped. I think I threw like maybe 5 or 6 shows.
Zero is another promoter. They're like kind of, you said Zero?
Zero
Zero.
is my manager and also the garage manager of Bico, and held other positions at KCSB as well. But they
Okay.
were also a big inspiration to me, and I kind of like, learned how to book shows and like manage that type of stuff through them. Like I
Oh,
kind of would
cool.
like pay attention to like what they were doing and like, would ask them questions, like borrow their equipment and be like, "Oh, what do I do when an artist asks this?" type deal.
Wow.
And, yeah. would kind of like look after the stuff that they were doing to like see how to do shows. And so, anyways, yeah, I started then, and then COVID hit, and I stopped doing shows, obviously.
So you had just kind of started in, so yeah, because 2019, gosh, doesn't feel like that long ago, but I guess it was because COVID hit when 2020, right? Like March 2020.
Yeah, March
So
2020. So I was doing shows from like fall 2019, and I was having shows at Merton Co-op. We had this big like downstairs space because like our house was all upstairs. Our house was all upstairs. Then we had this lower level with the administrative offices for the entire co-op. And then we also had this big like recreation room, and like I got my housemates to let me have shows down there, which I don't think
nice.
necessarily all of them were a fan of because it would rattle the whole house.
Oh, really?
And I would piss off a bunch of my roommates. I remember one of them was telling me that like they're having a fucking anxiety attack because I had a noise show one time, and I was just like, yeah, and I was just
Like,
like, and they're like, I don't think it's cool. Like it's you're having shows like, some artists like spilled a bunch of water all over the ground, and I'm like, it's performance art, dude. Like, what do you mean? Like, it's hard. It used to bum me out, but that was like
yeah.
my first like introduction to like doing shows and stuff. And that
So,
was like when I started like learning more about the 805 scene as well, because I was mostly doing Santa Barbara stuff, but I started learning more about like what was going down in Ventura and whatnot at the time as well.
okay, got it. So, what were some of the bands that you were booking in FB at that time? Do you recall? Were there like local
Like
acts
Santa
that,
Barbara bands?
yeah, at that time, or
Yeah,
was
like
it more like,
Rafa
oh,
Rose
okay.
was a favorite. I booked my homie Eamon Fogarty. He now lives in Texas and he's Texas based. He's been like based in all kinds of different cities, but I remember I found him on an Aquarium Drunkard, which is a music blog. I found him on an Aquarium Drunkard review, and then I went into Warbler Records one day and I recognized him and I was just like, "Oh, hey dude, I saw you on Aquarium Drunkard."
Like a
He
chance
worked at
encounter?
Yeah, he worked at Warbler.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
yeah, and I just started talking to him and I was just like, yo, dude, I think your music is really sick, man. Like, you should play on my radio show. So I had Eamon play on the radio show and he became my good homie. So I'd always try and book him too. Um, yeah,
That's
I don't
awesome.
know who else was playing in Santa Barbara at the time.
Yeah,
My
I'm
friend
curious.
Lawrence. Do you know
Lauren,
Lawrence Moody?
mm-mm.
Okay, Lawrence was the homie. He was really good friends with Kristen as well. Um, and he started a band with Kristen's boyfriend at the time named Gabe. They're not together anymore, but and then also this other dude named Luca who was coming to my shows in town and like wanted to meet other musicians, and he met Lawrence and Gabe through my gigs and started a band with them called Dioxane, and they sounded
Mm.
very much like Unwound, like that post-hardcore stuff, because that's like just some stuff that we were all very into at the time.
Yeah,
Um, I actually have a performance on my YouTube, one of the very first like videos I posted on YouTube of Dioxane, and they only lasted up for like 3 months. They only played like two shows.
yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, are these still bands still around? But I think you might have answered my question.
Yeah, I mean Rafa Rose, I don't know what he's up to. Hopefully he plays shows. I know he plays
I think plays bass in Dante,
bass.
no?
Yeah, Dante's band every
Yeah.
now and then.
Well, there's Don. Well, uh, it's Ruben Zarate's band. The band
Yeah,
is called
Ruben.
Dante.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you then. So I guess, well, rewinding here a little bit because it sounds like actually before you even came here, you already had an interest in like putting together shows a little bit because you set one up. I think you said at the community center, right?
Yeah,
Before
at
you
like
kind
my
of,
co-op or whatever, right? Yeah.
yeah. So how did you even like get the interest in this? Was it through like the smell or like how did you,
So in the
I guess,
very beginning,
yeah, like how did you come to find music and have that interest and then that developed into like wanting to put bands together and present them to people? Um
yeah, so it was just like a very like I guess organic thing. Like I started like getting into music in like high school, but obviously it was like Mac DeMarco, Neutral Milk Hotel, like
that's not
big name.
obvious.
Yeah, that's what I was listening to in high school. Mac DeMarco and like Neutral Milk Hotel was a big one, dude. And I saw Neutral Milk Hotel live at the Hollywood Bowl.
Hell yeah.
My first show I ever went to, my first like actual concert in music that I was genuinely interested in was Arcade Fire,
Okay.
um,
Yep.
in 2014. So Arcade Fire was one of those bands that I listened to all throughout high school. I thought they were so good, and then they went on tour for their Reflector album, and I bought 4 tickets, and I just invited like, you know,
Do you remember how much the
like
tickets were?
dude, expensive. They're like
Oh,
60
really?
bucks or something, and we had
Okay.
nosebleed seats. Yeah,
Mm.
we had nosebleeds, but I didn't know what any of that meant because I was like, I just want to see this band, you know? Like
Yeah.
I just graduated high school and I was like, I want to go to this show.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Like like going after I graduated high school. Um, but anyways, so I went to that show with Arcade Fire, and the ticket, or like Arcade Fire was telling everybody to dress up, right? They wanted everybody to go in costume. They want everybody to dress up formal. And
Oh
so
yeah,
me and my
like tuxedos and
yeah,
shit.
yeah, and so me and my friends were just like, should we actually do it? Like we've never been to a show before. Should we actually do this? So we did it.
Like go or dress up.
We dressed up.
Okay, yeah,
Like
yeah,
I wore like tuxedo pants. I didn't wear like my tux jacket. I just wore the shirt and like suspenders and stuff.
yeah,
And I just wore like Vans or something because I want to be like comfortable and whatnot. But we all kind of
yeah.
just like fucked around like that. And then we were standing in line, in the wrong line actually, because we didn't know what the hell was going on with the forum. And we were standing in line with like these other two girls who were like, yeah, like, I don't know, we are just chatting with them. And some random person came up to us and was like, hey, can you guys help us with something? And we were like, sure, like, what do you need help with? And like, okay, we're gonna bring you backstage. Like, don't tell anyone. We're like, oh, can we like bring our friends? Like, we're a group. And they're like, yeah, for sure, bring them.
No
So
way.
we go in. Yeah, and she's like bringing us like backstage of like the forum and stuff. We're like going through all these hallways and like doors and shit, dude. We're not really sure what's gonna happen, dude. And she's just like, okay, here's these stickers. You need these stickers. Put them on your shirt. That's how you're gonna be able to go in and out of like the backstage and stuff. And we're just like, okay, like what's going on? And like the stickers just said Bob on like
Bob?
the front. It was like an Arcade Fire. It was made out of like canvas, a canvas like sticker with the Arcade Fire logo, and it
Yeah,
said Bob handwritten on like a marker. And
yeah.
then so we get backstage where all the props are, and she's like, "Okay, we're gonna dress you up in like these bobblehead like outfits, and we're gonna give you these massive paper mache bobbleheads." So I don't know if you've ever seen an Arcade Fire music video where they have these like recurring like bobblehead things, where it's like
Mm-mm.
basically like a made up version of the band. And so, anyways, she's like, we're gonna have you dress up as these bobbleheads, and we're gonna put you out into like the forum. And while like they're waiting for the bands to go on, people are gonna want to take pictures with you and stuff. And we just want you to dance and just look dumb. So
No
like we did
way.
that. Yeah, we did that. And then she was like, okay, like when the first band is about to go on, I'm gonna pull you back, and we're gonna take off like your outfits. And so we go back there, and she's like, okay, we're gonna one more time, like, if you guys like enjoy that, I'm gonna have you, um, what's it called? I'm gonna, when Sprawl 2, the song Sprawl 2 is about to come on, I want you to run back here as fast as you can because we need you to put the bobblehead outfits back on, and then we're gonna put you on this massive, like, elevated stage that's gonna, like, rise up in the middle of the crowd.
No
And so,
way. Is this real?
yeah,
That's so
it was crazy,
cool.
bro. And so we were like part of the act, dude. We were like part of the act, and like, Arcade Fire
And
was like,
this was all random.
yeah, it was all random, and
Like
like
you
it was
guys were
crazy
even
because
debating even putting the tuxedos on,
yeah,
and
and
then you got into
she
the
chose
wrong
us.
line.
Yeah, we got into the wrong line, and she chose us because us and like those girls we were talking to were all dressed up. And
Got it.
so, yeah, and she just like randomly chose us, and then we got like put on to like that stage, and we were basically part of the act, which is like really interesting. I think it's really cool that Arcade Fire did that, and it was cool because we had nosebleed seats, but that like sticker gave us a pass to go anywhere in the venue.
Yeah, you got like
So,
free like
dude, we were
$1,000 premium VIP package plus some out of that.
literally, dude, we were like right up to the stage. It was crazy, dude, and like. I remember when we were like going back there to put the bobblehead stuff on, like Regine Chassain or whatever her name is, like, the main like woman singer, she like runs by and she's like, "Hey guys," and I'm just like, "Oh my God, dude."
Wow. Did you get to
Yeah, and
meet
so like,
them?
no, we didn't get to meet them after that. Yeah, we didn't actually get to like meet them or anything, but it was like
I
crazy,
mean,
dude.
that's
You
still
guys like
amazing.
Yeah, dude, that like was such like a crazy like formative experience for me, I think. Like that made me not want to like ever not like I don't know, it just made me want to go to shows ever
Oh, really?
since.
Okay.
It's kind of like chasing the dragon, I feel like, because that was like so like such an intense like first music experience,
Yeah.
and like I knew all the songs at that show and like it was just insane. And then I
So you
remember like
feel like,
afterwards I was like
yeah,
depressed almost, dude. Like depressed
yeah,
like the next like day where it's just like, damn man, that was so fun.
yeah.
Um
That's the post-show blues, brother.
Literally, dude, post-show
Yeah,
blues, it's a real thing.
it
And
is.
I've only ever experienced it that intensely at that show.
Damn, because you feel like I just
Yeah.
had such an amazing time, and now I'm back to real life, and like
Yeah, dude.
that shit is
Now I have
over.
to Yeah. And so that was like my first experience going to a show. And then it
Are
was
there
kind of
pictures of
all
this?
yeah, probably on my Instagram. You could like find someone early Thomas James Moran Instagram. There's
I'm
probably some
about to.
photos. Yeah, dude.
Well, I will after the potty because I want to keep hearing about this. Damn, you're pounding the fucking Me Too
The
now,
Mickey,
brother.
dude, honestly, these are my favorite. They're so good. I gotta shout it out again. Shout out again. The Soul Chilada. They're so good.
Shout out
Um,
to major corporations for making billions of dollars.
Making
Hey,
billions of dollars, stealing poor country's water. You know how it goes.
you know how it goes. No, that's amazing, man. So wow,
But
that's super.
yeah, yeah, it was cool.
So you put it in an interesting way that you feel like since then you're kind of chasing the dragon. So like you're kind of trying to find an experience that's going to top that. Has anything ever come close?
Um, no, but I think it's
Yeah,
just different experiences. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yes,
So nothing is gonna be different than your first concert, you
yeah.
know?
No, that's for sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, it was like from there, I think my second show was Neutral Milk Hotel, and then my third show was Mac DeMarco, and then Mac DeMarco was the first show that I ever experienced like a pit type deal
Oh, he
where
had a pit.
yeah, there's a pit, so like everybody was going crazy, and it was kind of like one of those uncontrolled, like it's not like a hardcore pit where it's like super controlled and like everybody knows what they're doing. It's kind of just this wave of like nobody knows what's happening. And I remember that being wild and being such an experience.
Was
Um,
that at UCSB or where was that?
no, but I remember seeing that one at UCSB where he got arrested, actually.
Yeah.
This was at like the Fonda or something, and I went with
Okay.
like two friends, and we bought like scalped tickets for expensive. Um,
Damn.
but then it was like after that,
Fuck off, scalpers.
yeah, exactly. And then, we started seeing shows at the Smell, dude. And I was like, wow, dude, the Smell is so sick. It's like this underground place. Like, we gotta go. And I think I saw like the Buttertones was my first show at the Smell.
Yeah.
Um, they're canceled now, RIP. Um,
R.I.P.
RIP. But, we saw that show, and that was like my first DIY gig,
Yeah.
I think. And so that was like, pretty crazy too. That was another experience. And like I said, dude, it just kept getting more like niche from there on.
So let me pick your brain then on the question I was asking about the touring, like what this
Yeah, sorry
touring
about
band
that.
said. No, 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 no. I mean, it's a good like foundation for all of this because like clearly you've loved music for a long time. You moved out here to well, it sounds like you were still in the 805, but you moved out to SB. You went to school out there. You like started putting shows together there. You have a radio show there now. You're now putting shows together in different parts of the 805, like Oxnard Ventura and stuff like that. Anyone who doesn't know you who's watching this, like the two people who are watching this who don't know you're trying to now set up shows in Goleta. And so, yeah, I guess I'm just kind of wondering, like, how long does this go for you? And I don't know that you're even thinking about it in that way, but like, where does this potentially go for you? In different like scenarios. You know what I'm saying? Where do you want it to go? Maybe it's a good.
Yeah, it's interesting because I actually had another dude, my friend Luis, who I was getting a tattoo with the other day. He
Yeah.
was kind of asking me the same thing. He's like,
You got
"So,
the
what
tattoo,
do you
by the
do?"
way? You got a tattoo?
I got two this week. I
Hell
got one on my
yeah.
leg and one on my arm
Why are you hiding it,
today.
bro?
You want to see it?
Yeah, why the fuck you hiding it? Oh, that's fresh, doggy. Oh shit!
You
What
see
is
it?
that? Like a fox?
It's a cat. Yeah, I think it's cat.
I love it.
Yeah, it's sick. It came out pretty cool.
I feel like I
But
know the answer, but what does it mean?
yeah, I have no idea. I just got it because it was sick. The artist drew it up. Um, yeah, and I thought it
You
was
want to
sick.
shout out
So
the artist or nah? Fuck him. I'm just kidding.
yeah, his name is David Abergel. He like tattoos at First Amendment in Simi Valley. He's my friend's cousin's husband, and I met him
Friend's
at
cousin's husband. Yes.
so like basically my friend's cousin, I guess I could say.
Yeah.
Um, my friend Eli, he's like one of my best friends. His mom always has like tie-dye parties once a year where
Oh
she
wow.
has like all these like, professional like tie-dyeing equipment and
What?
dyes and all that stuff. And so, we go to her house and we all tie-dye a shirt or what two or whatever, and the whole family goes. And so David was there. Me and Eli were like talking to David, and Eli is my friend, by the way, and he goes and gets tattoos done by David. And I was like, dude, David's shit is sick. I want to go. So I eventually made an appointment. And yeah, that's what I got today.
Okay, that's awesome. And so Eli, your homie, what is asking you like also about where you want this shit to go or what?
No, so that was my homie Luis. He's an In Time. He plays guitar in In Time.
Yeah.
Um, dope hardcore band out of the 805. And, when he
So
was tattooing me, he's like, so where do you want TBD to go? Like, what do you see?
nuh-uh, he asked it exactly like that. So what do you want
Yeah,
TV
he's
to
like, so
go?
what do you see happening with TBD? And I'm just like, dude, I don't know. I'm just doing it, man.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So, and it's weird, yeah. So I guess to answer your question, like people get burned out, and you have like, back in the day they used to have like what was it called? Like Book Your Own Fucking Life is what it was. So
What
do
was
you know what
that?
Book Your Own Fucking Life was? So there
Mm-mm.
was this like magazine called like Maximum Rock and Roll, and they put out this like thing. I think it was either in the back of their magazine or it was its own separate thing called Book Your Own Fucking Life. And so people would like submit their phone number or contact information or whatever, and it would be listed by town, by state and town. So if bands were trying to book their own DIY tour, they would flip through this book called Book Your Own Fucking Life, and they would like go and hit people up for tours. You can probably still find archives of it online called Book Your Own Fucking Life. But
What?
yeah, and so artists would like go through and they'd be like, "Oh, that was a show off." Or like, "Oh, this was a really good show. Let me mark that one." Um, or people get burnt out, and stuff like that. And that's like, what it was, Book Your Own Fucking Life. And it turned into a website later on called
Wow.
BYOFL or something like that.com.
Yeah, no, I'm
Uh,
looking at it. Well, I'm looking at articles about it right now. So this was like a way of helping bands just kind of stay on tour and go on tour?
yeah, so Maximum Rock and Roll was like a big like hardcore magazine,
Yeah.
and they were like, kind of like, and that's like also it was like pre-internet, like
Mhm.
magazines, that's where people got their information. And so, that
By
stuff
the way,
was
he
kind
doesn't
of
mean
like,
pre-join the internet, everybody. He means pre-internet, the actual internet. So,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Pre the actual internet.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, it's really interesting. I had a guest on my show a while ago named Brian Case. He plays in this Chicago band called Fax, but he's been playing in bands. He had a pretty popular one in the 90s called 90 Day Men. And we were kind of talking to him about it. Like, we were asking him, like, oh, did you use Book Your Own Fucking Life? And he was like, oh, dude, that was like the Bible, man. Like, you know?
There's no equivalent like that now, is there?
There's a website called dodiy.org
Okay.
nowadays that you can check out. And like, I'm listed on Do DIY.
Really?
Yeah, I'm on DIY. I get a couple requests every now and then, but like, it's hard to accommodate everyone, so I can't, I tend to usually stick to the people that I know somewhat because,
Yeah, only the primo
limited.
cards make it on TBD, right, brother?
If I could book everybody that hits me up, I definitely would, but
Oh,
like,
that's sweet.
but like I don't really have the capacity.
Oh, that's so
But
cool that you're not like trying to gatekeep like that, man. Or maybe you're just
yeah.
saying that because it looks like good for you, but
Yeah.
I still appreciate it anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, if I could book anybody, like that's the hard thing too. I don't know. We got to get back to your question, but
We are.
can we?
We're talking about it in a roundabout way. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess like one of the hard things with booking for me is like I want to accommodate every artist that I can because I think that DIY is part of like a big community. I'm like anti gatekeeping. I like having as many people on the show as possible, or people playing gigs as possible. And I like to incorporate people that are nobodies for sure. And like it's just, I've never really been about like having the biggest crowd. Like obviously it feels really good to have a massive crowd come to your gig,
It
but
does.
like you can't always have a massive crowd if you want to support the nobodies. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's like a
Yeah.
thing that I juggle around too, where it's like, okay, how can I still kind of get somewhat of a crowd for these artists and still incorporate nobodies? Um, yeah, I forgot where I was going with it, but that's kind of like a thing.
Well, the hard thing that the hardest, I think you're saying the hardest thing that you find about booking is you're kind of first saying that you want to accommodate everybody. You wish you could, but
Yeah,
then
see, I guess we were talking about like people hitting me up and I wish I could accommodate everybody. And yeah, that's the hardest thing is like I wish I could, but I don't
yeah,
have the capacity to.
yeah.
And like, juggling whether or not I want a crowd or just supporting new people all the time is also another difficulty because it's like, that is definitely a balance that you gotta like, work
Have
on.
have you
It's like it
found
goes
a
through your
like
mind.
have you found a little like formula or process or practices that like kind of help? Because some of the shows
So
I've been
I
to
was
that just
actually
don't. Yeah.
So I was actually talking to Jess about this. I saw a tweet recently um, that I was like, wow, I actually really resonate with this tweet. Let me pull it up for you.
Okay.
So the first tweet is
We have
it
high
says,
technology here at Best Average Podcast. Everyone, we're just pulling it up on the phone.
this guy says, this is what I don't agree with. I agree with the quoted tweet, but this is what the original tweet says. It says,
Okay.
two band bill, perfect, lovely. I have energy to hang afterwards. Three band bill, lovely. I will be going immediately home after. Four band bill, definitely pushing it. Five band bill, who are still putting these on? It's like, eh, fuck you, dude. That is evil, you know? And then so this other like
Oh yeah.
this
What do you
other
think about
DIY.
that? I guess you just told me because you said "fuck you," but what do you think?
So I'll tell you what I think about because the guy that tweeted it, his name is Joe Trainer. He plays in this band called Dummy.
Oh, dude,
He
dummy's
quote
so
tweeted
good.
it and he said, two band bill, not supporting local scene. Three band bill, one local but already well known. Four band bill, supporting unknown locals. Five band bill, hardcore show or bands that have a backline and strict 25-minute sets. And I
Yeah,
was
that's
like,
cool.
and I was like, that's what I agree with, dude. Like, I'm
That one's
all about
cool.
that. And
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And that's what I agree with. Because you're asking what my formula is. My formula is four band bill. You have one or two touring bands or out of towners, and you have, at least one well known local, and then you always got to get at least one unknown person to get in the scene.
Okay, that's cool, man.
How
So,
about
so then, okay, so what do you have coming down the pipeline at the moment?
in terms of shows?
Yeah.
So there's a good amount, man. I have a whole spreadsheet of stuff. I could pull it up for you and give you guys like the.
Dan, you want to do the share screen, brother? Yo, I'm paying for this motherfucking Zoom account, man. I got these
You want me to give
features.
you a share screen?
Shit, it's up to you, man. If you're down,
How do I do that? Okay, here it is.
if you're down,
Okay.
man.
Can you guys see
Oh
my screen?
shit! What? We're really
So
elevating the production levels on motherfucking the
right
Best
here.
Average Podcast, everybody. Oh, that's big. Yeah, you got a
Yeah,
spreadsheet
right.
and everything, dude.
So I like categorize stuff where it's like it goes by confirmed potential, which is like, someone hit me up for it, not really sure if it's gonna happen. Working on it means
Mm-hmm.
like I told them I would do it, but it's not confirmed a venue or anything, and then canceled, obviously, like not happening. But
Yeah.
anyways, so this one already went down. This was the Sprain gig with Ipa Nazar from Berlin. So what we have coming up, April 29th at Harley's Bull, we have House Scandinavian from Palmdale with Eye Candy, Jane and the Dogs, and Scientists and Saboteurs. And
Yep.
then Rapid Skate Shop in Simi Valley hit me up, and they have a show April 30th with a band called Versus Self. They're like a screamo band, and they wanted me to find some bands, so I am kind of trying to help them. It's not my gig, but I'm just trying to help them out.
Yeah.
Which is also random because I don't know why they hit me up and they just didn't hit up my homie Nick who books at Rapid. But anyways,
Maybe they didn't
uh,
know about him.
about Nick,
Yeah. Somehow.
I mean Nick always books at Rapid. He like knows them personally. Like I've never met them, but I respect
Oh,
it. I respect
yeah.
them reaching out to me.
That's good.
And so we have April or May 3rd. I just confirmed this one. It's with Izzy Johnson from Michigan with Noah Klein from LA. And then we have Ian McPhee. He plays in Ceramic. He's going to be doing an ambient set. And then not Nina Spheres. I got to change that, but I just confirmed Rob McGill.
That's super cool,
And
dude.
Rob McGill holds down fucking 805 experimental music for sure. Oh, and then this one was just confirmed. At Harley's Bowl, we have this band from New York called Personal Space with
Yeah,
hopefully Join the Internet,
yeah. Still working
Crawdads,
on it.
and hopefully, yeah, let me know. And then we have, this is a possible one. Out West said, I also manage the booking at Mucho Gusto. So Out West
Oh, you
wants to
do?
host.
Is that new?
Yeah. It's kind of been for like a while. Like Junior basically put me in charge.
Who's Junior, the
Um,
owner?
yeah, the owner of Mucho
I
Gusto
remember
kind of
meeting
put
him.
me in charge of like the show booking. Yeah.
Nice
So,
guy.
if
He's super
someone hits me
supportive.
up for a show, so if there's anybody out there that wants to have a show at Mucho Gusto, please reach out to me and I will accommodate you as best I can. We're trying to fill up June now. So, uh, yeah. And this is a potential someone hit us up, but I haven't heard back, so I don't know what's going on with that. And yeah, that's kind of it. You guys can see the screen.
So they hit you up and then you respond and they didn't respond?
I guess they went into the shop personally to get a haircut or something.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
he told Junior he wants to have a show or do something on May 27th. And Junior was like, I told him to reach out to you. He hasn't reached out to me. So I reached out to him and I was like, hey, dude, did you still want to host this show May 27th? And he said, yeah, I would love to play. Are you booking something that day? And I was like, my man, I thought you were booking something. And so I basically,
My guy. WTF.
yeah. And that's the thing too, dude. It's like weird because I guess I'm like an entity or whatever in terms of booking.
Yeah.
Um, People want me to host them. Like people will reach out and they want me to host them. Like there's a few bands that will reach out and they want me to set them up a gig and I'm just like, dog, you can rent the space or you can like, obviously like book the space and set up a show for yourself, but I can't book every gig, dude. Like that's a lot of work, you
I
know?
think the thing is that it's a little bit different when there's somebody else who kind of owns it, because I think it adds like a little bit of a layer of authenticity and it lets somebody else kind of absorb that work. Yeah, because like you're saying, it's a lot of work. You can, yep, there you go. So that's probably like I, for example, probably don't want to set up my own stuff right now. Unless like the other dudes were like down to just help or whatever, because it is a lot of work, like the reach out, the
Yeah,
getting the
shows a lot of
band,
work. Yeah.
getting it moving, like making sure it's staying on time, like it's
Yeah,
a
and that's the
lot.
thing too. I was like talking to Luis about this, like back to like what you were saying with like,
Luis
having
is
like a
again the homie who you got tattoos with, who asked you like from In Time, who
in time.
uh yep, who asked you like where you want TBD to go.
Yeah, and I was actually talking to him about this. It's like, dude, sometimes people hit me up and I feel like they don't necessarily realize that I'm one person. Like people
Yeah.
will reach out to like the TBD Instagram page and think that it's like a team of people or something. And
Hey,
it's like,
dude. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, people will be like, what up, y'all? And it's just like,
What up, y'all?
yeah, and it's like, dude, I am one person managing a lot of shit. I'm talking to a lot of people every single day, trying to
Yeah,
like manage like my radio show and gigs, you know? And so it's like when people reach out to me and they're like, "Hey, we'd love to do a show at Mucho Gusto." It's like, "Great, I'll put you on the list of potential people that I'll hit up for a gig." But like, if you want to make something happen immediately, you're gonna have to plan it yourself, probably, you
okay.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise it's got to be something that you're already kind of working on, sounds like.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
like it's easier for me to book a show and get like, organize a show or whatever when someone gives me a specific date that they want something. Somebody gives me a specific date. Hey, we're coming through town. We want to play this show or we want to show this day. Can you do it? That's when, it gives me a more concrete thing to work with where it's like, sure, let me look into this date, see what I can do, and then I can find support, local support.
That's cool.
So it's like, yeah, yeah. If somebody else like just hits me up and they're like, hey, we want a show, it's like, you're not giving me much to work with, dude, and it might not even happen because like I always have
Hey, dude, we want a
tons.
show. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
exactly. You
think
know what I'm saying?
I do. Well, the thing is about like music is that since it's not like I don't know, like it's not a organized business. So, and every artist is just trying to like get out there. So they don't really
Exactly.
think about these sorts of things all the time because nothing tells them that they need to, unless you kind of have like a different type of mentality. I think you're going on tour, you're like, you've been through the rodeo already and you like been just kind of, you know, um, you kind of just learn as you go. I think like, it's one
Uh-huh.
of those things. So, and especially like when you're just kind of, I don't know, just say starting out, it's just kind of like, yeah, dude, like, you're just so stoked on playing music and the potential of being in front of people and playing your music that you don't know what to think about, I guess um that's my hypothesis at least.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair too. It's like they're worrying about like what they have to worry about from their own perspective, which is kind of just like getting out there and playing gigs and practicing and doing that stuff. And I mean, I guess that is like my job and like this like weird, you know,
In a weird way, yeah.
yeah, in a weird way, I guess that's my job. It's like not an official job, but like as a, like a promoter, like booker, whoever, whatever I am, it's like that's my job to do that for bands. But I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say too is like I'm one person, I'm not a team, so I can't manage
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. No, that totally makes sense. So how does a typical show get put together for you then? Is it somebody hits you up and says like, "Hey, I have a date I want to do a show on," and then you're kind of like, "All right, for sure." And you just start kind of building around that, or
Yeah, exactly. It's easier for me to do it that way.
okay.
Um, so like say you guys hit me up, and you're like, Join the Internet has a record coming out this specific day. We want a record release show. And you're like, can you like book this and like get us a space? And I'm like, sure, I'll do that. You want to play May 25th? I'll try and see what I can find on that day. So I'll like go reach out to my resources, whoever I like host at. It's usually Mucho Gusto or the bowling alley.
Yeah.
Um, right now at least, and see if we can make it happen at either of those places, and then once we can get a venue, then it's like, all right, let's find other bands that will sound good with Join the Internet.
Yeah. That's
And then
awesome.
from there, make a flyer and like promote and organize the other stuff.
So I think here's where then like, if like well, I mean, let me ask you then, what makes a good show for you? Like what shows are you the happiest with?
A show that I'm happiest with is a show that goes smoothly. Um, there's no issues, and I'm like booking and stuff. Yeah,
Are you on the radio?
yeah,
I'm sorry. You put the trash cans to bed, away before you go to bed.
yeah.
Is that just
Put
it's
the
like you've
trash.
had one too many souls, brother?
Yeah, that was my dad.
Oh.
Um, anyways, yeah. So, what was I saying? Yeah, good
The
shows.
best kind of shows go smoothly. There's no issues.
No issues. They go smoothly. The booking is smooth, and everybody has a good time at the gig. And yeah, that's a great show for me.
Damn, that's such a simple criteria. So, if that's the best kind of show, is that rare or um
I
um
haven't had a bad show.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, well that's cool.
yeah,
So
yeah.
most
I
shows are
mean,
good.
and I guess if there's a really good crowd turnout, that's also just like, damn, hell yeah. You know?
Yeah. It feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Like
feels good.
we probably our band JTI has probably had the best shows that we've had in a long enough time just with you. So, good
Damn,
job.
hell yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
Thanks,
You're
man.
doing something good, man. So I hope
I'm
that you'll
glad to hear
keep it
that.
going for a long time. Well, as long, I guess I'll say it differently. For as long as you want to do it, because like it kind of, I've seen it come and go. Like there's been some really good people who have done it. One of my homies, Stephen Hendricks, who was the first guest on the Best Average podcast, was putting like hardcore shows on in the 805 that were like really
Oh,
good.
nice. Yeah.
Um, and then obviously Spencer von Hirschman in Santa Barbara had the batting cages, the fun zone.
Yeah, that was
Um,
sick.
yeah, it was really cool. Obviously, Joshua, Josh Redman, was another big guy. So you're just
Uh-huh.
part of a lineage, brother. So I think for me, that's like really cool to see. Saying that as an old motherfucking bastard, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, it's just kind of like seeing the new wave, you know?
Yeah. Hold that thought real fast. I gotta let my dog out.
Let them.
I'm so sorry, dude.
No, that's good. If you want to show up the dog, that'd be sick, by the way.
You want to
Okay,
see the
don't you
dog?
don't have? Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay,
If
for
you
sure. I'll be right
down,
back.
all right, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, let me grab him.
Yeah, see, we got some action going on here at the Best Average Podcast, everyone. TBD, Thomas Moran is about to grab his dog, brother. Oh, nice. Hi. Hi. What's your name? What's his name?
X.
Oof, it's cutting out.
It's his name is Jax.
Jax? Jax?
Jax. Yeah.
Like the Mortal Kombat character?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, hi, Jax. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Thank you for showing us, Jax. Dude, that's awesome. See, man, we got content up the wazoo here at the Best Average Podcast, everybody. We got dogs. We got screen shares. Yeah, no, like we should start charging y'all on the Patreon for this premium content, especially because now that we've reached 10 p.m., it's the time where Thomas is going to take off his shirt, take off his pants, and we're going to start the OnlyFans portion of the show, everybody. So, no,
There it is, dude.
no, I'm kidding, man. What made you decide to be on the podcast?
Dude, I just thought it'd be sick, man. I found out that Marvin had a podcast and I listened to a couple episodes and I was like, damn, that's sick, dude. You made it once you've been on Marvin's podcast.
I didn't know they proposed it. I thought that was 12 days ago, but I appreciate that, brother. I really
Yeah, dude,
appreciate
for
that.
sure.
Well, I hope you're gonna keep doing what you're doing. I think we can do one last cheers for the homeboys. And do you have anything else you want to say to the two people who are gonna watch this all the way up to this point?
Um, I guess adding to that lineage thing, I was actually talking to late bloomers about this.
On the interview, I missed like the interview. I'll tell you, bro. I feel bad. I need to go back and watch it, but I fell asleep. I was really tired on Sunday, so I fell asleep while listening.
That's
Um,
fucked up, man.
I'm
I'm just kidding. I'll
sorry,
post it on
bro.
YouTube and you can
Yeah, I
check it
can't
out.
wait because I
You don't
was
need to be
fucking.
sorry. I don't
I
expect
am, dude,
anybody to be.
because I don't know why I was so. Well, I know why I was so tired because we had a show on Saturday,
Mhm.
and I barely slept that night. So and then I woke up early, and I kind of was up that whole time. And then at 4 p.m., like I caught the beginning. I liked that there was like the more hardcore stuff at the beginning. I really liked the curious music. I discovered that through you. Like that was really interesting. But then yeah, I just fucking
What is
knocked
it?
out, bro. Curious music.
Yeah.
It was cool. Wait, would you ask me?
Oh, you're saying it's curious. Yeah.
No, no. Well, that's what you said it was called. No, Curious Music Volume One. I looked it up after. The
Oh, and
first,
the
the
intro. Sorry.
intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like that was like really pretty.
Yeah, I'm
So
glad you like that. Sick.
yeah, like I was actually like, wait, this is TBD because this is like, kind of more like I don't know, like what's that shit called? Free jazz kind of shit, but like pretty.
Yeah, right?
Mhm. But anyway, I'm saying, so was that on the interview that you were talking about, like the lineage thing?
Yeah, dude, I was kind of just saying like, I think of TBD, the radio show at least, is kind of like an archive for like what this era of the scene is. Like there's been all these different people that were booking stuff like before me and doing important things in terms of like starting labels or like hosting shows and kind of like, preserving, that era of whatever scene they were doing.
Yeah,
And I kind of like see this as like doing my part too,
yeah. I
you
think so
know?
too, man. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the beautiful thing about what you're doing, whether you like it or not. You're gonna be part of like a little bit of a just music history, you know?
Yeah, dude. It's pretty interesting to think about.
I think so.
I wanted to ask you too. Do we have a time limit on this, by the way?
No, but I think we can probably cut it here, just so that you can get some sleep. You can make sure your dog gets
That's
to
fair.
take a fat fucking piss or whatever it's doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Um, and I think
Yeah.
we had a good time, man. I loved it.
It was a good time, dude. It was a really good time. I'll have to talk to you later about your experience in leaving that like music video that you were doing.
Yeah. So, well, maybe I'll give a teaser for it then, and we'll talk about it at some point. So we had a show Saturday at Anise Oil Park. The band that played after us, Modern Genre, mentioned during the show. So a couple things happened during the set. One is they were like, "Hey, anyone who has an alcoholic drink, I'm not trying to rat you out, but take a 5 second swig right now. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 3, 3." Like just kind of. But when he did that, and I actually took a swig because I just like to play along, but it ended up
Yeah.
narking us out to like the park security because then they came up to us and were like, "Hey, you have to get rid of that," So like the dude, the lead singer of the band, ended up kind of narking on us. In
Really?
a yeah, in a roundabout way because during his
Yeah.
thing, he was like, "Hey, everybody with an alcoholic drink, I'm not trying to rat you out, but take a cig right now." And so, um, if stupid me, actually did it. And then the park security came up to us and were like,
You actually had
"Hey,
alcohol though?
yeah, hell yeah, dude, is that okay?"
Yeah, respect. Yeah, respect, dude.
I mean, we were like kind of brown bagging a little bit, but they were twisted
Oh, I
teeth,
see.
so like they didn't look as obvious. So anyway, during their thing,
Mhm.
they also announced that they were going to be doing a music video, and so the homie Robbie and his lady Paula, Robbie is from Crave 805 on Instagram, actually came up, which we were really honored by actually because
Yeah, that's sick.
for
That's
somebody
amazing.
to like just come up, yeah, to watch us was just really we were just really stoked about that. Um so anyway, we left the show. They had announced that they're going to be shooting a music video at an address. We went to grab some Rusties between now and when that shoot would start.
Mhm.
And around like 6:30 to 7ish, we went to the address on DP where the music video was to get placed. And when you hear music video by a band, you kind of think, yeah, this is going to be a thing on an iPhone, like that they
Yeah.
need extras
Yeah.
for. So it's just an iPhone thing. Like it's going to be like 30 minutes and we're out of there kind of shit. But no, we
Mhm.
get there and it's like this whole fucking thing. We're greeted by like this director's assistant who's like, escorting us to the back of the house. And there's snacks there and there's other people waiting to be extras in the video, and they're kind of going like, "Hey, this is the waiting area. We're getting everything set up for the music video shoot. Whatever you need to get comfortable, we're gonna do it. If you need water, you need snacks, just tell us, and we're gonna help you out here." Like it's just this whole thing. Um, and so we're waiting there for like a while, like from 7 to
Mhm.
like 8 or something. The shooting doesn't even start until like 8:30, and for the shoot, they take us to the front yard of the house where and there we see like, holy shit, this is really this whole production. They have these cameras, they have all these lights, there's like 5 staff people who are just there to like, not only shoot but also to help direct. There's this director person, and it ended up actually like being work. Like we're actually kind of like working, because it's kind of like, okay, we're gonna do this shot now, so you're going to be here. We need you here. By the way, camera guy, can we make sure that we're tilting the thing? Like, it's this whole, like, literally this whole production. And
The
so,
fuck? And this is for an Ivy band?
yeah, this is for Modern Genre, an IV band on DP. Um, and I think what it was is that the lead singer's girlfriend is a director, and this is like a pet project of hers for her school project or whatever. And
I see.
maybe like the staff that she has is just like their project too. So
Yeah.
um but they take it very seriously, and they have all the equipment, and they actually have it really nailed down. Like they had the marker, like everything that they were shooting was a pre-planned shot that had a name. They're like, okay, we're gonna do FA. FA, okay, everybody get ready to do FA. No, 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 BC. We need to do BC. Okay, sorry, we're gonna do B. It was like
The
literally this whole
fuck?
thing.
That is insane, man.
And so what happened is after like just being there for a while, and we get to like it's about to be 11 p.m. and I'm kind of like obviously tired, and I'm
Uh-huh.
with Bobby and his lady.
Was Austin and
No, they didn't go. um no,
nobody else went?
no, it was just me, Bobby, Robert from Crave, and his lady
Yeah.
Paula.
Really?
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, it's super cool. Like, cause I have never hung out with them like that, so it was just really fun to just hang
Yeah.
out with them, and like get to meet him and this lady a little more. Like, obviously, we had gone to like Raising Cane's that other time,
Yeah.
but no, it was just us three. And like they took our names down. We're gonna be on IMDb. Apparently, we're gonna get a credit on I.
Really?
Yeah. Like
What
what?
the fuck, bro? That is crazy.
And so let me tell you how we bailed though. So what happened was like we're doing all this work, like we have to dance around for the music video. I'll quickly tell you the premise of the video. It's like supposed to be like this
Uh,
old dude breaks out of a retirement home basically to go party in
yeah.
IV. And he gets in a fight at the party in IV with the lead singer of modern genre.
Yeah.
Um and we're also, that's the premise of the video. And so what happened is after doing a bunch of different shots, um, we kind of, I guess we learned that like one, they don't tell us when it's going to be over. So,
Yeah.
and so like then they say, okay, guys, we're going to take a 10-minute break or 5-minute break or whatever it was. And so I look at Bobby and Paul and I'm like, hey, I think I got a dip. They're like, yeah. And so we just kind of sneak out.
Yeah.
We just snuck out because like, wait, this is real work. Like, we
Yeah.
should be
What the
getting paid
fuck?
for this, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that
That
was
is
it.
crazy as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Wow, man. That is the most wild experience I think I've ever heard. It's also crazy because that's just like a DIY band, I guess. I mean, I guess it was like a school project, and like, yeah, that's like fucking sick. You know what I'm saying? But like,
It did not feel very DIY in that case. And it was, though. It was, which was actually kind of really thick. And, even the lead singer of the band was like, even the lead singer of the band was a little bit like, what the fuck? I think almost like he wasn't expecting that.
yeah, he was probably like, this is kind of a lot. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, damn, dude, that is what an experience, dude.
it was interesting, man. Like, I actually learned a lot from it too, like about making videos.
Definitely. Like, I feel like if I was in that situation, it would be more of an experience than like, I honestly feel like I wouldn't even be pissed. I'd just be like, what an experience. Like,
We
what a
weren't
wild
pissed,
time.
but we were tired,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, just like tired. That's interesting, dude. I guess Tommy and Austin didn't miss out.
I think if they had told us like, hey, by the way, be ready to be here until 11:30 or until midnight, or um, just know that it's actually going to be this whole thing. I think we probably would have been maybe a little more open. We might not have done it actually,
Yeah.
but we would have been a little more like, okay. But because we just didn't know when it's going to be over,
Mhm.
and we've already been there a while, and like they're talking about going back to wait some more while they set up new shit. We're
Yeah.
like, okay, we gotta go.
Yeah. It's time. It's
Yeah,
past my bedtime.
yeah, we're old. Well, I'm old, so I need to get in my coffin at night now, bro.
How's it going with your new drummer? Sorry, we don't have to talk about this if you're trying
No, yeah, we
to.
could. Yeah, hey, listen, man, you flipped the script on me. I like it. So it's the TBD portion of the Best Average podcast now. So
Yeah,
we
exactly.
met this guy named. By the way, let me show you this. What do you think of this? Check this out. Can you see it?
That's fucking sick.
Check this out.
Did you make that or what? You buy like that?
No, I bought that. Yeah, I bought this. Look,
Is that made out of silicone? Sorry. Go ahead and take a rip.
I don't know. Um, Like
It looks
this,
like one of those like silicone bongs. Yeah.
what's silicon plastic?
Yeah.
I think so. I think so.
That's dope.
Yeah, so we met this guy named Alex, bro. We met this guy. So Alex actually, his name's Alex. He is the guy who rents out the studio space that we're practicing in to us, and it was actually kind of sick how he's come to started playing drums with us because we released the City Called Earth, our latest release, and he just sent me a message. I don't remember if it was out of nowhere or if it was because we needed to pay the rent for the space, one or the other. But he just happened to mention that, hey, dude, I've been listening to City Called Dirt. It sounds cool. And I was like, oh, that's awesome, brother. Thank you. By the way, if you know any drummers or rhythm guitarists, let us know because we're looking for both. And he says, well, shit, man. I could jam with you guys if you want. And I was going to New Orleans at the time. Huh?
Where'd you meet this guy again, by the way?
Craigslist. So, that's a little bit of a back and forth. So he was posting ads on Craigslist, like advertising that he needs people to like kind of rent out the space. And I was being a little washy with him for a little while because I'd be like, hey, yeah, dude, we're super interested. And he'd be like, okay, dude, come check it out. What do you think? And then I'd be like, okay, yeah, definitely. But then I'd be like, hey, man, can we do it another time? So that little pattern went on for a while. So I was like the kind of wishy-washy person. It's because we didn't have a need since we were just practicing here at my house, since we didn't have like the need to like turn up the volume and shit. So eventually that changed because we needed to start actually prepping. Even though we're going to do live with the computer, we needed to start prepping. And so we need to like be able to adjust our levels and stuff. So anyway, I finally hit him up and I was like, hey, we're ready. And then he was like, oh, I don't have space now. And so then it took a little while where he finally hit me up and was like, hey, you're still interested in a space just open? So that's how I met him. And we've been jamming at the space now for a little while. So so that was kind of the relationship, but up to that point. And so when he messaged me, I was just like, oh yeah, well, definitely. And so ipso fapso bingo bango, we jammed and we asked him to, because he actually would prefer to play rhythm guitar, we asked him if he wouldn't mind just kind of trying out drums. And he said, yeah, no doubt. And so we've done 3 practices so far. And then we did this show. And I think it went pretty well, to be honest with you.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah. Austin in particular has been super stoked about it.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Austin, who's the guitarist of JTI, has just always been like, oh, can we get a drummer ASAP?
Dude, yeah, Austin's my fucking boy, dude. I love that guy.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm glad he's stoked, dude. How's Tommy feel about it?
Tommy's stoked, but Tommy is like, so Tommy agrees that like we need a drummer, right? But Tommy also like is fine so long as we don't sound like ass,
Yeah.
If we play like shit, he's gonna tell us. If we sound like shit, he's going to tell us. But he's like just kind of chill so long as we're like not bad, But he does agree that like having a drummer and like just that live element, just it's just a like a higher layer,
Yeah. Dude, Tommy's a dope motherfucker, dude. I love that guy so much.
I know he's like I kind of think of him as almost like a glue, because my unhinged ass, just like just bouncing around like a dumbass everywhere. Austin's kind of a chill dude, but Tommy is just like he's just kind of a little bit like, get like, let's just like not bullshit around, like just get it done,
Dude, that's so dope, dude. You met Austin on Craigslist too, huh?
Yep.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
all my shit's on Craigslist, man. I don't have any friends.
Hey, you got me, dude.
Oh, thank you, bro. But I met you on through Austin, so that's my thing. Like, if I didn't meet somebody through Craigslist, I met them through a friend that I already have.
Hey, that's sick though, dude. Craigslist is underrated, I think.
Yeah. a good way to meet people like this.
Yeah. Um, well, I'm glad everything's going well for you, Marvin, dude. Hopefully, we can get you out on that gig in May, dude. That jazzy
Yeah,
gig.
yeah. Let me talk to you about that after this one because we have some questions, just mainly about. And then, fuck it, I'll just even talk about it here. Then it'll be part of the episode. So for us, because we're in SB, traveling out there on a weekday when we work and shit like that just makes it tricky for us. So,
Mhm.
which we can do it, I think, but for us, it ends up being like, is this going to be worth it? Somehow for us, either through like the things that would be typical, the turnout or like I don't know, the mileage or like cost or
Yeah,
um
see, that is a little far for you guys, and I totally get it. I
yeah,
honestly am not really sure
yeah,
what the payout situation is gonna look like because it's at a bowling alley and it's like in like their, I guess like restaurant slash like I guess barish area of like the
yeah,
bowling alley. I don't know how we're gonna be able to charge door very well.
right.
Um, I'm definitely gonna be taking donations, but you know how motherfuckers are if there isn't someone at the door like stopping people from getting in.
Yep.
So there's that. And it is gonna be on like a Wednesday,
Tuesday now.
so oh maybe a Tuesday, I
Yeah,
forget. So anyways, like yeah, it's like I get it. It's not gonna be a Friday gig for sure. It's
yeah,
not gonna be a Friday with someone taking door, you know?
right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like one thing if we were touring or something where we have to do a Tuesday, but since we all work and
Oh,
um
dude, that's fair, man. I just figured I would
yeah,
ask you guys because you guys are my fucking homies, you know what I'm saying?
hell yeah, dude, that's what we appreciate because we want to do as much as we can too. Um, so maybe what we can do then is if you somehow learn more about what this might look like, because I actually really like personal space. I listen to
Uh-huh.
the stuff on Spotify, and they're actually like I was surprised how cool they are because it's like kind of it has the mathy elements. I don't think they're like math
Yeah.
rock, but they
Uh-huh.
definitely have like these post punk and then nice sounding mathy. So it's like post punk, which is really nice, and then they have like this mathy stuff, which is like a cool mix. So it'd actually be really tight to play with them.
Uh-huh.
And it's a bummer that they're stopping on a Tuesday, but it also makes sense because they're probably doing like the bigger cities on the more opportune days.
Yeah, they're doing some like touring shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily know what their whole tour is. I mean, I wish I could give you guys because they are cool. I wish I could give you guys and them, a better turnout on like on a weekend, but I
Yeah.
guess that's like another one of those things where it's like,
Are they fixed on Tuesday? I mean, I'm sure they already planned out their itinerary and all that.
yeah, I mean, that's like what they requested. They gave us a range of dates. They asked us for like Monday through Wednesday, and it's like when we asked the bowling alley person, she was like, "Oh, we have Tuesday open. Like we
Yeah.
can give you a Tuesday." So
Okay,
it's
for
like,
sure.
okay. And it's also just like constraints on what we could get our hands on at the time in terms of venues.
Yeah. Well, if we were more local, I think it'd be a lot easier for us.
Mhm.
So that's just kind of the rub of that one. So we
Damn,
can keep it a
I'm
little bit
getting rejected
open.
on the
Say again.
I'm getting rejected on the podcast, dude. I'm getting rejected publicly. I'm used to getting rejected in my DMs, but
Well, this is like the Booker life, isn't it?
exactly, yeah, I'm just kidding, bro. I get it.
Well, but I think we can keep it a little bit open. So like if there's like I mean it's up to you. Because if there's like something to figure out around that, which I don't even know what that means because it's not like we don't care about money or anything. So it's just kind of the Tuesday element of it, like so
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely going to be on a Tuesday, so I guess like that's like the biggest situation
yeah,
or the biggest issue here. I mean,
yeah.
what would make you say yes?
Um I
So I can
guess
give you a definitive answer of
probably
whether or not.
probably at the very least, just for all of us, it's some way to like just make the gas worthwhile. I might think, not even know what that means, like because
So
otherwise,
basically
like
make your money back in gas at least.
yeah, probably I'm just making that up, like but just so that. Yeah, because if we show up there, like, because this is just how these things go. There's nobody there, and we're gonna get home like probably midnight or something, 11 p.m. or something, and we have work the next day. We'd probably all just feel a little bit better about like, okay, well, at least we have at least we didn't leave that on the gap. You know what I'm saying? So
I'll talk to Cameron from Eye Candy, who I'm like booking this show with,
yeah,
and he's done gigs there before, and I'll
yeah.
ask him what the situation is like in terms of money.
Okay, gotcha.
Like I put a donation thing on the flyer, like $10, but
Yeah.
you know,
Well, the flip of it too is we look like greedy assholes on the podcast. So if it's like the two-way street.
it's not DIY of you, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm just
D-
kidding, dude. It's like
Don't you wanna
it's
like
also you gotta look out for yourself, you know?
yeah.
It's like I feel like part of being a musician too, it's like gotta look out for yourself, still.
When that touring band video, which the documentary, which you might maybe you've seen it, but if you haven't, it was actually very interesting. They're just all talking about like people think this shit is all about like sleeping on the floor of your van and like like not having enough gas to like feel comfortable about getting to the next place. And you know I read this other article about bands that are playing South by Southwest who
Only
like
getting paid
people
in fucking tri-tip sandwiches. And it's like
no.
they're flying all yeah, dude, it's like no, what we say that's just a joke between me and my friend where it's like
Okay.
bands are touring out to South by Southwest from like fucking California or like New York or whatever,
Yeah,
and the bars are not paying them. And it's like
yeah,
you're
but the
expecting us to make all of our money back in merch, you know?
and these are bigger bands,
Yeah.
and so it's just kind of like the rub of music, man. There's no money in it, which is okay.
Yeah.
It just ends up boiling down to like, um, what can we do to make the best thing happen? I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll talk to Cameron and I'll get back to you and see if we can give you a definitive answer as to whether we can guarantee you anything.
What do you think, Best Average Podcast? What direction is this one gonna go? Should we? I'm gonna put up like a little thing like, do
Yeah.
it, not do it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna put
something.
like a yes or no poll.
Yeah. So I'll bring that back to the dudes. Obviously, we have our little P Hub chat
Uh-huh.
that we can use as our central hub.
I love my P-Hub chat.
Me too. For everybody who doesn't know, we have a chat on Instagram. It's called P Hub Chat, and the logo for the chat is the P Hub logo.
So fucking good.
Has Jeff seen that?
Um,
Like just glancing over his shoulder, like, what is that?
yeah, I've told her about it.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, just check this out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Jess doesn't care about a lot of that stuff, dude. She's
What'd she
cool.
say? She's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, she's just like dope. But
Yoo-hoo.
yeah, I mean Jess is like really lax about like all that type of stuff. Like even if like I didn't tell her about it, she probably wouldn't be pissed, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like it's the actual P Hub
Yeah,
chat.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's not an actual thing.
Like it'd be one thing we're like sending links to each other on there and shit. You know what I mean? To like,
I mean, she probably wouldn't even care about that either.
okay, yeah. So
Yeah. I remember God, I probably shouldn't talk about this on the podcast. I won't.
I mean, you kind of started it now, brother. It's up to you though.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, I mean, I have some OnlyFans subscriptions and stuff,
Oh yeah,
and yeah, Jess didn't care.
yeah.
She's dope.
I
Yeah.
had some for a while, but I was like, I'm kind of done. Like, do you remember when you saw my IG and you're like, damn, Marv? Like, you remember you're like, we're to share like that's what you're about, huh? The bitch
Yeah.
and whatever. Like, do you remember we were like at a PFF in
Yeah.
Oxnard, and like I just happened to open my IG, and like one of the very first things that pops up is just like this hot chick like in her underwear or whatever, and you're like, all right, Marv. So
That's really funny. Yeah, dude.
I think that's just a guy thing, brother. It's like I don't know what it is about us, man. We're like fucking animals, bro.
I know. Yeah. primal, I guess. I don't know.
We should just become like Catholic nuns, bro.
I'm thinking about it, dude. I've been thinking
Yeah.
about it.
Where are you landing? Where are you leaning?
I just gotta be celibate. You know what I'm saying? I gotta just become a Catholic nun, be celibate because that's dirty, man. OnlyFans is dirty.
Dirty, dirty man. Hell yeah,
I
dude.
shouldn't be supporting these women for doing these sinful acts. I'm just kidding. I'm all for it.
Yes. X
Tip your people on Twitter.
positivity, you
Yeah,
know.
send tips on Twitter because you know you're going on them OnlyFans Twitters and not tipping.
Yeah, send the roses, um, to me and sign up for the Patreon.
Send roses to me too, and sign up for Marv's Patreon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do the rest of the night, man?
What is it? 10:30. I need to bring in the trash cans, and then I should honestly probably go to bed.
Yeah, same
I
here.
left work a bit early today. For the hour and a half that I didn't work.
It happens, man. Don't send the link though.
Yeah, dude, you don't do that. You don't leave work early.
Well, so I'm on salary, so like I have days where I do more, I have weeks where I do less. Mostly it's usually more, to be honest with you. So I actually pretty rarely leave early or whatever.
Yeah, that's how my friends are when they say they work salary. It's usually more so. But I guess like my work, it's technically hourly because we have to get billed or like we
Yeah.
have to bill our time to like the client.
Oh, you're like a contractor?
Yeah, I'm a contractor for this company called EDM Services, but I'm contracted by SoCal Gas. So, I have to bill my time to SoCal Gas or whatever, and I'm basically hourly. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm
So you're
basically hourly.
1095?
What do you mean?
Oh, so 1095 is like that tax classification. So when you do your paperwork, you don't get a W-2, you get a form called a 1095.
Oh no, I get a W-2.
Okay, okay, okay. Got it.
Yeah, yeah, I still get a W-2, but like, yeah, I have to like I'm supposed to work 8 hours a day or something, but
Yeah.
it's like honor system, so I'll just dip early sometimes. Fuck it.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. I mean, so long as the work gets done.
So long as the work gets done, but I'm on such an ongoing project, I don't have any deadlines. So that's the
Yeah.
thing too, where it's like it's different for some of my other like coworkers because they have deadlines. So it's like, oh shit, I gotta work this amount so I can get reach my deadline. But I
Yeah.
don't have a deadline, so it's like I'm just consistently doing like the same thing every single day.
What are you working on?
Um, I'm mapping a bunch of like gas storage facilities, natural gas storage facilities. So have you heard of Aliso Canyon?
No. Yes. Yes. No.
Okay, so
No, I haven't.
Aliso Canyon over in like Porter Ranch, like in the valley,
Okay, no, I haven't heard.
um, like 5 years ago or something like that, they had one of the biggest natural gas leaks in the world. Where,
Leaks?
yeah, dude. So
Oh,
like,
wow.
yeah, the way these gas facilities work, there's also a gas facility, like a storage facility in Goleta, right next to UCSB. There's a massive storage facility over there. So, or it's a smaller one. Aliso Canyon is the biggest gas storage facility in the world, I think. But so there used to be all these areas used to be where they would pump oil out of the ground, right? Out of these big ass oil aquifers in the ground. And they're like miles deep. They would pump the oil out of there, but they're dry now. So what they found out they could do is after they make this natural gas, they just fucking pump it back into the earth to store it with these wells and they just inject it back into the earth. But it has to be extremely pressurized. So
Wow.
yeah, so when they're injecting it back into the earth, one of the wells burst, exploded, and so it just blew out the side of a mountain, and so there was just methane leaking for 3 months out of the side of this mountain.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to just clean that up, or?
Well, they plugged it. It took them like 3 months to plug that well. But
Wow.
obviously all of like the lines have to be inspected and stuff. So I work in GIS, which is like computer mapping. So I'm basically creating a bunch of GIS data for them. I'm drawing every single pipeline under the CalGEM jurisdiction at Aliso Canyon, and I also just finished Honor Rancho, which is near Santa Clarita. And the next one I'm gonna go to is Playa del Rey, and then I'm gonna go to Goleta, and I'm gonna map the Goleta one too. But Aliso Canyon's like so big, it's just like super ongoing because
So
like
these pipes
there's
haven't been mapped before?
No, not extensively with a GIS.
So they've just been like built randomly, or there was like some blueprints at some points, or
They obviously have like engineering drawings and they have records of them, paper maps, all this stuff. But I guess a big initiative for SoCal Gas and like Sempra, which is like the parent company, which is like San Diego Gas and Electric and like some other ones.
yeah,
A big thing for them is like these companies have been run by old heads for so long. Like these departments have been run by old heads for so long. They're trying to like modernize and like create like GIS data for everything and like make 3D models of all the pipes. Like that's another
um,
thing too. I don't have to go to like the field all the time because there's like really accurate 3D models of the entire storage field. So like I'll just look at this like 3D model and click on the lines and find the names of the pipe or whatever and then just draw it on the map.
wow. So you like being outdoors because I know you camp a lot.
Yeah, I do go camping a good amount too. And I like being outdoors. Yeah, it's sick when I actually do have to go to the field for work because it's like we're just in the mountains and it's really pretty back there, and you can see like all of Los Angeles from like way
Yeah.
up in the mountains over there.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I do like going camping a lot too. Me and Jess just like last week or the week before we went camping up in Ojai near
Yeah.
in this area called Rose Valley. Um, and then we drove back to what's that road called? Lockwood Valley Road, and we drove from there behind Ojai to Fraser Park,
Hell
and then
yeah.
back into Simi. Yeah, so big ass loop.
How was it?
Sick. I love it back there. It's so pretty.
What would you guys do? Just like kind of chill and like slam some brews and like just hang out?
Yeah, exactly. We actually, it's funny that you say slam some brews because we both bought some like interesting beers or whatever, and we got to the campsite, and we're like, let's just like chill and drink this beer while we were playing some dominoes, and we were like, you know what? I actually fucking hate this drink that I got, so we ended up pouring them out.
What were they?
This nasty beer. It was like I don't know, like a cinnamon chocolate milk stout or something like
Oh, you
that.
didn't like it? Wow.
Well, I usually like stouts, but that one I
Me
just didn't like.
too.
It was gross. Yeah.
What do you think it was? Was it kind of sour?
It was kind of like cinnamony
You don't like cinnamon?
and just weird. It was just a weird mix of flavors that I wasn't vibing with. Yeah.
Interesting. Did you have other beer to back that up, or?
No, we just had one.
Okay,
She
that's
had one
fun.
and I had one. She got like some really sweet like Smirnoff something, and she was like,
Ooh.
this is actually way too sweet for the vibe that I'm trying to have right now. And I was like,
Bleh.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that shit
Yeah,
makes me
and so
gag just thinking about that, dude.
yeah,
Ew.
exactly. She was like, this is way too sweet, so she poured hers out too.
Damn, you just beer live? But yeah, I don't know if I can do that, man. I
Hmm.
love my meat chips, as you know.
Oh, same. You can't go wrong with a good michi.
Yeah, yeah.
You ever make your own?
Yeah, I buy like the I mean not like any good ones, but I buy the I just buy a beer and then I buy some tomato juice. And that's it.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah, not like
Do you fuck with Clamato juice?
yeah, that's what I do, bro. Hell yeah.
Okay, the Clamato, fuck yeah, bro. It's so
Yeah.
dank.
That's the only thing. I mean, I guess what's the other one? V8? No.
Fuck.
Gotta be the Clamato, brother.
The spicy one.
Yeah, I don't see the spicy one everywhere though, unfortunately. Otherwise I would get that for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
yeah, I feel you.
Like sometimes I just have to get the regular shit, but that's why. But when so I actually stopped buying these so often. I used to buy these way more. This is the Bud Light Fuego Miche. Um, but ever since I was kind of like, man, I could just mix my own shit. That's kind of what I've been doing way more.
So what else do you put in it?
That's it.
Oh, just the tomato, just the Clamato juice? Bro, the way I make it, you get your beer. I usually go with like Modelo or something. You pour the Clamato juice in, you get some Tapatio, you fucking jerk that Tapatio into the fucking bottle, you know what I'm
Yeah, that's
saying?
like what you do right there. Hell yeah.
You put some chamoy in there, dude, some chamoy all over the rim.
You do it
Dip
up
that
like
in
that?
tahini.
Mm-hmm.
So dank, bro. So dank.
Yeah, no, that sounds really good. I'm just too lazy to do all that, you know?
I feel you. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're just going for bare bones, basic, get the job done, have a nice drink, just the
Yeah,
Clamato.
bro. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, if you just want that loser, like whack, like just totally lame, foo lame shit. Yeah, you can do that too. So,
Yeah.
I just wanted to like be a little bit more than the beer. That's all. Like I really like that kind of little like tartness, whatever that the
Mhm.
tomato juice adds to it. So that's all I need. That's all I need.
Yeah,
I'm,
I
s-
really like the savoriness of like the clams and stuff in it. Fuck, it's so good.
you know me, man. I'm simple, bro. I'm a very simple person. You know that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, Marvin,
Thank you, brother. Really appreciate you having. Really appreciate having you on the podcast. I'm gonna keep this shit going. So hopefully you'll come back at some point. And hopefully at that point you're now running like just continue to run shows like they're sick as fuck as they already are. You're happy doing it if it sounds like you are. Whatever the fuck you're doing at that point, man. It's all good. So
dude,
long as you're
fuck
doing
yeah.
you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Marvin. Thank you for being supportive of everything that I do.
Yeah,
Um,
back at you, man.
and if there's anybody listening that goes to the shows or even like looks at TBD on Instagram or anything, thanks for looking it up because I know you definitely didn't have to. So it means a lot that you did. And anyways, Marvin, yeah, it means a lot to
Do you
coming
want
onto the podcast and
do
giving
you
me
want
a
to
chance to
drop
talk about
the
it.
IGs and all that, or
You can
get some
find
promotion in?
TBD. It's at TBD Presents on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and youtube.com/slash TBD Presents.
Hell yeah.
And you can
The
find me there.
Nice, bro. The 11th episode of the Best Average podcast is over. Goodbye.
That was sick.
Damn, there you go, man. So that was the 11th episode of the Best Average podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Goodbye.